All right. I am officially rolling on the Hedge, so I just wanted you guys to know for full transparency. I hope you signed a waiver at the front door, Donnie, because things are gonna get.
This is like McCamey Manor.
No, this is fun. I'm excited.
I am too.
I'm thinking about like how excited I was just driving. I drove past the street. It was like Bacon Boulevard or something.
Yeah,
Bacon
yeah. Our
like,
friends live off of it.
I figured. I was surprised you didn't live on it.
I know.
I knew you had some connection to that.
There are a couple like streets here that I'm like, people are gonna think we live on that one because the name is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I can't think of one like besides Bacon Drive. Like obviously we should have lived on that one. But like we've gone to other places that are like Looney Avenue or something like, oh,
and you're like, I
we
can't choose.
Lived.
You're like
can't pick. Bacon or being, that's just who I am though.
Yeah, Bacon or Looney
Yeah.
Avenue. You were like,
That's
can we
right.
just set up a tent right at the intersection of those two streets?
All right, wait. We can't. This is what the shit that happens, Donnie. I start having really good conversations and then I never remember to say your name. Okay, so Donny Andronaco, welcome to the wrong side of the hedge.
I'm here. I'm excited.
Oh my God, I'm excited too. Okay, so we were just talking about street names, and I remember, so we're shooting this in Shelburne, and we are a poor family living in Shelburne. And when I first moved here, I told a friend that we were moving here, and she's like, "Oh man, like, you don't want to move to Shelburne, like." I lived in Shelburne as a kid, and we didn't have a lot of money, and there was a place that I honestly don't remember the name of the real street. So, but it was a street that started with an L, and she's like, and the rich kids used to call it Low Income Lane.
That's that's really wordy. I would just call it like Loser Lane, or something. I don't get why people say stuff like that though. It's like when people tell you like not to move somewhere and like their reasons is because like they failed at their lives, you know. They're like, don't move to Shelburne because when we lived in Shelburne, we were slobs. Like it doesn't make.
Right.
Well, when she said that, I was like, thank you for telling me where to find all my friends. Where is this again? Which lane is this? Like that's probably where we're gonna find like all of our friend group.
Yeah, I don't even think it's like a Shelburne thing. I think that's just like I think that's just like rich people are just always awful people, you know? I don't think that's like a Shelburne specific. It's not like live in Virgins. The rich people there are nice. Like that's just not
We
how.
have nice rich people.
The rich people are nice. Yeah, it's not
That's
how.
their tag for the town.
Yeah.
The rich people here are real nice.
I don't even know if there's rich people in. I don't even know what happens in Virgins. I just drive through it so much, so I'm just this.
They have a nice little main strip.
Exactly.
It looks
but
like.
it's like that's like so many towns in this state. It's like a nice little strip, and I'm like.
That's
like,
actually
what?
the name of like a couple strip joints in Vermont. The nice
Little strip. That'd be good. Yeah, that's a good one. No, it's like I drive through like Virgins all the time, and I'm like, oh, I'm like another farmer's market today. Like, that's all they've got. I drove one time. It was a Saturday. I was driving home, and it was like Virgins Day, and there was like a big festival.
What did they do?
Looked just like every other day in Virgins. They were just like out and about. Looking at like art no one's gonna buy, like a little, but it was like Virgins Day, and it's just like I don't know what made that day special.
They just randomly pulled a calendar date out of a
Yeah,
jar,
they're like
and
this,
that was it.
Yeah, they were like July 22nd is ours, and I don't know.
And fuck you if you don't celebrate.
I don't know if the other town's allowed to. Like
we have a Shelburne Day, I think, right, babe? That's
do.
like when all the like the shops like pull their stuff out.
Equally as confusing. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, we also have like even in my town we have a day where we have like a big like parade and.
Is it
stuff.
good? Did they do it up?
I mean, yeah. I mean, really, like my neighbors across the street, like we used to go hard with like floats in the parade. It used to be like a competition. Yeah, we haven't done it though in a long time.
So you marched in the parade?
Yeah, we would always like build like a float. Like trying to think of like our best years. One year it was like Wild West, and we had like a big like covered wagon we made.
Oh my
One year
God.
it was like the '60s, and my neighbors, they're like the two most like crafty people I've ever met. They built like the yellow submarine from the Beatles, and we were all the Beatles. And
Whoa!
Oh yeah, no, it was really cool. Like they are like,
oh my God,
really
that's
talented.
so awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what the best year was. One year it was like circus, and they built like a giant like elephant, and my neighbor's wife was like on top of it, and it was like spraying water, and like we were all dressed up as clowns and stuff.
Oh my
Yeah, no, they're like
God.
really. Like I live across the street from like two of the most
that makes my heart
artistic
feel
people.
so happy when you hear that people get. It's like the people that really get into Halloween costumes, even as an adult, and make theirs. You're like, oh, like there's no financial reason why you're doing this. It's just because you love doing it, and
Yeah,
you're just gonna go
they're
all in.
just like they go crazy. They just like have
oh
an
my
idea,
God,
and
that's so cool.
yeah, and they go hard for like Halloween too, like just for like trick or treaters at their house. Like
Oh,
they built this
man.
like, yeah, my neighbor Ted, he built this like giant like dragon, and like his wife Jane is like, she's more of like the painter and like that kind of like artsy
Yeah.
person. But like he built this like giant dragon out of these pieces of woods, and then she made like wings for it, and they put like a fog machine in its mouth, and like he lifted it with like a tractor, and it would like sway and like
my
breathe fire and
God,
stuff. It's
that's so
crazy.
freaking cool.
Yeah, no, they're like really, they just go like above and beyond, and it's just like,
oh my God,
in like my
I
small
love
town
that.
where there's like 5 people. Yeah,
But they're like
go,
known probably. They're like,
oh yeah,
this
no,
is it.
everyone, yeah, they're like,
Oh my God, I love that so much.
yeah, no,
Dude, they can never die.
they can never die.
Cause like, are they gonna have someone that takes it over, or they're
No,
just gonna like?
I don't think, yeah, I don't really think that they have kids that really like do that stuff. I
Oh
don't,
no.
Yeah, I don't know.
We got to keep them alive at all costs.
yeah, I could have like gone over there as a kid and like learned how to like build and stuff, and I could have been like a better person. I would have grown into like a better adult if I took like building lessons from that guy, because he's literally like a genius with that stuff.
Oh
but
my! What does he do for work? Is it like?
he like builds houses mostly.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he's built like crazy stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, no, he's a really talented guy.
Oh my God. We have a family that lives not that far from here that's really similar. They do the Tree Wild School, and you go by their place, and it's like bread and puppet theater style, like puppets just hanging out in their backyard, and they've made this crazy like treehouse network in their backyard with like ladders and planks, and it's like next level to me.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like they rent out part of their house over the summer, and it's like the family they rent it out to, like they have kids, and he's just like decided, he's like, these are basically just like my grandchildren, and he built them like a whole like playground on the property.
Oh my
and
God,
it's
he's
just
like
the
a
most,
children's book character.
yeah, it's like the most incredible thing you'd ever see. But yeah, no, he's like a really talented guy. He had to like rebuild a house on like, it was on the plot where just like a double wide was, so it's like you couldn't get bigger than that like chunk
Right.
of land. And it's just like how he built that thing to have like so much inside while like sticking to that rule. It was like twice as high as it normally would be, and it's just like how he crammed everything in, and just like there was like 3 bathrooms in the place somehow, but it wasn't like it wasn't like
Harry
it wasn't
Potter
like everything
craziness.
was like crammed together. I was just like, how did he come up with this? And I was just like, this is like, I would like to
Oh
live
my
there. Yeah, no,
God.
he's really talented. That
Well,
guy.
and that's such a thing now too, because the tiny house thing is so big. Andy and I will sit for hours watching, because we wanted to get like a camper van after the kids move out, like sell the house and get like a camper van and just like go traveling. And it's like that where you're like, they fit so much in such a small space. Like no section of that is not utilized.
Yeah, no, he was
That's
like
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like it's like weird looking from the outside, because it's like this giant, like it's like a cereal
So
box
it's
almost,
tall.
because it's like so narrow and
So cool though.
yeah, it's like really, it's ugly on the outside, and you get inside and you're like, this is
Oh
really
my
cool.
God.
Yeah,
But that's the house that you drive by and you're like, what does that, you're curious
You're
about
like,
what
yeah.
it looks like
No,
in there.
Yeah, he's just like really, like he goes above and beyond
Oh
with,
my
with what he
God.
does.
Yeah,
his
he can't
brother,
die.
his brother builds with him too. Really, he lives
Whoa.
right next to him, so like they really built like most of the like crazy houses in my town.
God. The more you're sharing, the more I love this man and probably his wife as well.
Yeah, no, they're
They
awesome.
sound amazing.
They're the best. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so now that we're on that subject of Halloween, we're taping in October.
We are.
And I've been seeing online your pictures of you.
Oh, I go all out with Halloween.
You're like, they're insane. Like, please go to Donnie's like Instagram. I'm gonna put it up after. But like, oh my God, your Halloween costume. It's so cool.
Most of it's like usually like my mom usually, because I was always a kid. I was just like come home with like a crazy idea, and my mom was like, "We'll do it." And she's just always been like crafty like that.
Oh, that's awesome too.
Yeah, no, she's awesome with stuff like that. I definitely get like all of my artistic ability from her, but she's always been good about like I come up with an idea for a costume where I'm a character and we don't just go to like the party store and buy like the cheap. She's like, we'll make it like.
Oh, I love that so much.
So it's like we had like an old like suit I had. Well, actually, I'm planning like a murder mystery party for my high school friends.
That's really cool.
So like,
cool.
We've been buying like stuff at like Goodwill and stuff, just like cheap suits to like put them in. So I had like a suit jacket left over for a character that I don't need anymore, and I was like, we'll just turn this into like a zombie outfit. And she's like, okay. She's like, let's just like rip it up, and then I don't know. She's just like so clever with like finding.
I love that she still helps you with your Halloween.
Oh
like,
yeah,
that's
no, it's
really
like really
cool.
all through college. Like I would come home on the weekends, and I'd be like, we have 2 days to make this costume.
Oh
and
my
she would,
God.
yeah, no, and it's like crazy.
So jealous of that relationship. Like I love that so much.
No, that was like a weird, like I wouldn't, like, I'm sure when I was younger, she was like, really? Because I would come home and she's like, why can't I just be like a Power Ranger or something? Because like one year I was like, I want to be a guy with his head chopped off, but he's like holding his own head. And she was like, okay. And it like just made a crazy costume.
And that was before they did all the, because now you can easily get one of those inflatable
suits. Yeah, but no, she like rigged up like a whole thing in my back with like PVC pipe. So it was like,
oh my God.
Yeah, like I would be looking through and it was like the PVC pipe like kept the rest of the guy's body up and his hands would like come down to my head.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. Like we would, especially when I do like it'd be like homecoming week in high school and we'd dress up for like the Spirit Week days. Like,
oh my God,
we would like crush
like
one
so much.
It was like time travel day when you're in high school, and I was like, I want to be a pilgrim, and she's like, okay, and she made me like,
wait a minute.
Why did I choose a pilgrim?
Yes, like there's so many.
I was like, I thought that'd be hilarious, but then we made the costume and we were like sitting around the table like the day before. I was like, is this like offensive?
Were you in the costume?
I was like, is this going to be like inappropriate? Because I was like, I just didn't know if that was like a subject you could go into for some reason. But yeah, no, we like she made like the buckles for my shoes and stuff, and like the white collar. I looked so good, and I carried around like a basket of corn all day. It was like really fun. Yeah, no, the costume's crazy, but we both in this moment of like is this like appropriate? Like, can I dress up as this person?
It's like going in like Columbus, and you're like, I don't really feel like.
Yeah.
It's a little Hitlery.
Yeah, and she like got where I was coming from, but like she was concerned too, but then she just like made like worse suggestions. I was like, I don't think we can dress up as a pilgrim. And then she's like, you probably should have done like a Native American. I'm like, well, I know. I'm like, well, I know you can't do that one. Like, I know that. I'm like, let's just stick to the pilgrim. But like, everyone loved it. And like, I won that dress up day, and we were.
You
did? Yeah, no, I had the best costume.
Because I bet a lot of people did basic. Like, I bet a lot of people did 70s hippies or like,
exactly. Hippies are like greasers, and I was the only person that was like.
That's what threw me is because I feel bad, Donnie, but I was classifying you as like a basic bitch. I was like, oh, he's gonna do basic bitch.
No,
like,
I was like, we're doing.
Greaser.
I was like, I'm gonna be a pilgrim, and I had like the clog shoes, and I was like clicking around.
Were you handing out smallpox to people?
Yeah, no, but I had like the big basket of corn, and like we sat at the lunch table, like everyone had like their terrible lunch food, and I was like, let's treat this like the first Thanksgiving, and we like held hands, and it was like really fun. It was really fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but I would just be like, I'm gonna be a pilgrim, and she'd be like,
oh my God, have you been like your whole life? Have you always been like this funny, or like, because that's the thing that every time I watch you perform, you're so young and you're already so confident on stage and so funny. that I'm just like, how did this happen? Like, is your family funny too? Like, how do you?
I mean, I have like my aunt, my dad's sister is like really funny. Like I think I get a lot of like my humor from her. Like my dad is like a funny guy. Like he's very like socially, like he walks in a room and everyone like, you know he's coming into the room because he's always like saying stuff. So he's just like fearless in that regard. So I think I get that from him. But I don't know. I think I always kind of have been like a snarky kid in class that was always like saying like something sarcastic.
Did it get you in trouble?
No, I don't think I was never really in trouble that much as a kid. And for like a lot of my childhood, I was a kid that like if the teacher yelled at me, I'd like cry. I'd be like, oh, like no. I was like that kid. And then one day I just like became like evil. You know what I mean? Like I was like compassionate, and I was like, oh, I don't want to be in trouble, and like people would like make fun of me, and
like you didn't get bit by a spider or something.
No,
you just
no,
woke
I just
up
like.
And that was
well, I think I like always had potential, and then like if anyone like said something mean to me, I would like hurt my feelings, and I would cry, and then I'd be like, wait a minute, I'm just better at making fun of people than they are at making fun of me. So it was just kind of like, no, I never really gotten in trouble that much in school. Good. But I think even the teachers were like, oh, like he's always going to say, like they were like, we got to walk on eggshells because he's going to like harass us and make fun of us. And
were you a theater kid?
No, I was not a theater kid.
Okay.
I would have, it wasn't really like offered like when I was, like we didn't have that at my high school. No, I went to
you didn't have theater at your high school?
No, I went to a very like sports oriented high school.
Okay.
Like all the kids were like really good at least in my class, like the kids did everything. They were like they would do baseball, basketball, football. They would play all three.
Were you the same way?
No, I'm not athletic at all. But no, that wasn't like something that was offered at my high school. Really, if you wanted to do theater, you'd have to do it in like Rutland or like a few towns over. But
wow.
I would have liked theater. I would have been good at it. I would have liked to have done it for sure.
Because
I did it when I was a little kid.
I would just assume it because you were so confident on stage. Like from the first time I saw you. But have you been doing, did you do stand-up before you started doing it at the club?
I've never done it before. My first time doing stand-up was my second year of college, And I remember I went to a mic and just like watch and like see how it went. And then I came back the next week and I did like my first set. And I had a great first set. Like one of my best jokes.
Have you ever freaking bombed? Like I just
have
can't
bombed.
imagine
I think I have bombed. Like I think the second time I bombed because I was riding the high of like I'm so good at this. You know what I mean? I think it was like
we all fall prey to that.
Well, there was like charm the first time I did it because I was clearly nervous. I was shaking, but like the joke was good. And you were like, oh, it's my first time, and everyone like claps.
Yes.
But then I came back that second time with a new joke, and I was like, I'm so good at this. So they were like, we're knocking you down a peg. But that was pretty much it. I'd never done like stand up before though. The only thing like kind of adjacent to like public speaking in that regard, it would probably be like I was class president of my high school class.
Oh my god!
And I gave like a graduation speech, and it was like very funny, and like I made fun of the whole school, and like people still talk about it to this day. But that was probably the first like thing I'd ever done that was like I wrote out like a bunch of jokes and I just like fired them off into a crowd.
That's so cool.
Yeah, no, it was cool. It was cool to do it because I remember when I got into UVM and I was going up my first year, I like knew about the Vermont Comedy Club.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I like watched all of you guys on YouTube, like the little clips that were posting. I didn't know any of you, like I didn't know your Instagrams, but I'd be like Vermont Comedy Club, and I'd see like Tracy Dolan.
Yes.
And, like I think I saw like a clip of like Levi, Natalie and Nathan.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm such fans of these guys. Like Garrett Hall, I'm like, this guy's this guy's a weirdo. Yeah. You know, because I would watch his sets and I'd be like, Jared is just so odd. And then I learned that like he like won it the year that I started doing it, and I was like, this is crazy. I was like, the bar is. I like still don't really get Jared, but like it was cool that like I really did like I was a fan of everybody, and it's cool that now I'm kind of in the club
100%.
to a certain extent. Yeah, no, it was fun because it's like the first thing in my life I've ever done where I just kind of like did it. I just like came to Mike. No one like gave me the opportunity. I was like, I just went and I kept going and I kept having funny sets, and now I know everybody, and now I do like shows around the state, and it was just cool because it's like something I could just put my name on. And it's,
Yes.
yeah, no, it's like, because back to like the sports thing, it's like you can't say this to, your friends that are really sport. You can't be like, comedy's a sport, because they'll be like, oh, like they get. Yes. I have friends that get like annoying about that stuff, but like I've tried to explain to them that like the rush of like, you are good at something and you kind of feel like you're good at it, and the crowd sort of supports you. It's like, you feel like a kid that's like, just like sunk the shot in the basketball game.
Yes.
Like, yeah, that's kind of, and that's the first time I've had something like that where it's like I'm pretty good at something that a lot of people can't do, and that's like a really cool feeling. It's
like that whole thing that people say about like the number one thing that people beyond death are afraid of is public speaking.
Yeah.
And I do believe that. I believe it's like if you can conquer that, like you're bulletproof. Mm-hmm. You really are.
Yeah.
And like with talking about sports, I was also like never athletic, but I always wanted to feel like I was part of a team. Mm-hmm. And I think because Vermont is so small, the comedy community does feel, we don't have jerseys. Mm-hmm. We don't get to wear uniforms, which is, I feel sad. Like I always loved like the day you got to wear your uniform, like to school. But we have like our sweatshirts, like our like VCC sweatshirts, but it does feel like all of us like little misfit kids are finally part of like a team. Yeah,
no, absolutely. And it's like I've done a lot of cool stuff just here with comedy. But still like the greatest achievement for me wasn't when I was like a finalist in the competition. It wasn't when I got booked for like a big show. Like the best moment was the first time at Mike that like a newcomer came up to me and they were like, "Oh, I was here last week just watching. You were really funny. Do you have any advice?" And I was like, wow, like I'm good enough at this that like someone who's new at it is like, this is the guy I want to ask about how to do this thing. And I was like, that's just like a really like cool feeling to like sort of like share wisdom with someone.
What was your advice that you gave them? I'm always so interested.
I like tell this, I'm like, I loved getting to give advice. When my advice was like total garbage. I was like, just go up there and say something, like I didn't have any like.
But that's good advice.
Yeah, no, I think my advice usually for newcomers is, make fun of yourself first. Because I think like you make fun of yourself, it's a way to get the audience on your side. And I think my first suggestion is always like, just write like a look like something joke. Like I look like this, really, and then really everyone like laughs because they're like, and then they, I think sometimes people new at stand up don't want to make the joke on them. And I think you gotta make fun of yourself. I think it's the only way you can really get to sensitive topics, because you can't just go up on stage and just talk about like marginalized people or like serious issues and not throw the joke on yourself at all. So that's usually my actual advice. But it was a really cool moment for when someone was like, "You're the guy, like you were so good."
Cool,
and I was
Donny.
like, hell yeah.
I'm so glad like you had that, and glad that, I don't know, the other thing too is I'm always curious about is, when did you feel, because I remember my first like open mics, I would always have my phone charged, because I was like, I don't know anybody here, and if I don't have this phone charged, like I'm not gonna be able to have my little safety of like looking down at my phone this whole time. But then eventually I was be able to start looking up and making eye contact and talking with people, and then once people see that you're coming a bunch, then they're like, oh, I guess you're one of us. Like, how is that process of like finally feeling like, oh, I'm a Vermont comedian now?
I think it was like when I stopped like overdoing practicing, because like my first year of doing it was my second year at UVM, and I hadn't transferred back to Castleton University, but I would write my jokes like I'm like a Google Doc, and then I like write pen to paper. Mm-hmm. So I'd have my jokes in my Google Doc.
Oh, that's interesting. You do it like that. Okay.
Yeah. I always write it in the computer first, and then I feel like when I like transition the joke from the computer to like, that's when I can really edit it, because I'm like, this is too wordy. That's just always been like my process. But I would always write out my jokes on like index cards, and I would just like walk around my building at college
Oh
for
my
like
gosh, that's
hours
so
in practice.
interesting, yeah.
And like that my first summer of doing it, like I would walk up and down Church Street and I would just like read my jokes over and over and over again. And I was always like so nervous. And I think it was like I felt like I was in the club the one time I was able to just be like, you know, you have the joke. You don't need to practice it so hard. Just go and like sit down and like chit chat with everybody. And that's kind of when I was like, I'm in. Because I felt like I didn't need to like prove that I had like great material necessarily. And I think like practicing, you do kind of like overdo it in a sense. Because I would rehearse a joke so much that when I would take it to mic and parts of it wouldn't work, I wouldn't be able to edit it because I had like memorized it in my head that way for so long that I just couldn't change it. So I kind of stopped doing that now. But the first time I was like able to just breathe and sit at mic, that was when I was like, I'm in it. I'm one of them.
Isn't that the best feeling too? Like,
yeah, no,
it's the people aren't intimidating anymore.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, we have like such a good group.
Yeah.
Like we really are. Like everyone really is like so funny, and it's just.
And equally as nice.
Equally as nice. And there's a sense that like everybody's coming up and it's not like competitive.
Yeah.
Which is everybody wants the best for each other. And it's like even, I mean, there's comics like in our circle that like they'll tell a joke and it's like I don't necessarily understand the joke. It doesn't make me like burst out laughing, but like the audience loves it. And it's like that person has something, you know?
Yeah.
And that's like, that's fun. And I feel like that's the same way with me. Like I'll tell a joke that like, not everyone will laugh at, but it's like certain groups of people are laughing and they're like, he's got something. He's got something.
Oh my God.
And
I relate to that so much. Like what you just said.
Yeah, no, it's good. We have we're like well fed. That's why I don't really want to like move away. Cause everyone's like, go to New York. And it's like, I don't want to like go to like a terrible, I'm like, I don't want to go to like a terrible mic. Cause I was in the city like twice last year and I did like a few open mics and it's like, you had to pay like $5 and there was like no one in the room but other comedians and there was
who are all like arms crossed.
Yeah, and they're like, we're not laughing at you. And I'm like, whatever. God. And like I did one show and a guy had like a soundboard and like while I was on stage like working at a joke, he was like playing sound effects and I was like, dude, I'm never.
That seems so hack and stupid.
Yeah, no, it was like it's like wow. It's like you're making like the one other person in this room laugh with like your terrible sound bites.
That's so.
Yeah, I didn't have.
It just seems so hacky.
Yeah, I didn't have cash on me, and he was like, "Just Venmo me." And I'm like, I'll Venmo you, and then I'm like, I'm not Venmoing.
No.
This
Why
guy.
pay for that?
Yeah, and it's like, what am I gonna get banned from this like garbage mic? Like, I don't care. I don't.
I can't see anybody here doing that.
Yeah,
it's so crazy.
We get like a good audience every week. I mean, we get 3 minutes. I think is pretty good for the crowd we get, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to like move away. Like, not until I have like. Honestly, like 40 minutes of good material.
Then I hope you never get it, Donny.
Yeah.
Because what happens is
like
all of us people that have roots here and aren't going to be moving, we get close to you guys and we watch you get good and we're like, shit, like they're getting really good. Like there's no way they're. And I mean, you could leave now and be fine. So like, I've told this to Andy so many times that I'm like, I always want to like guard my heart to comedians that just get big here and then they leave because you're like, and then we have to like rebuild the scene up again. And
yeah, no, it's good because like everyone's like so supportive, but they're also like they give good advice, like they keep you in check. Because I remember one time I was talking to like Nick Sisk and I was like, yeah, I think I have like 25 minutes of solid material, and Nick was like 25, really, and I was like, it's more like 17. I was like, you're probably right. You're probably right about that.
I got a similar note, actually, like when I first started from Tracy Dolan. That is always like in my heart because it's Tracy, so it was hilarious. At the time, the biggest bit I was doing was like this 5-minute thing about the term ripping somebody a new asshole. And I did it for like 5 minutes straight about like digging into it and looking at it from all these different angles. And then I got booked for like my first like show at the club in this little space that they used to call the Comedy Lab. And I got up my courage and I asked Tracy Dolan, because she's like Tracy Dolan. You're like, oh my God, like she's like the lead comedian in our group. And so I was like, Tracy, do you have any like advice for me for my first show? She said, maybe don't do 5 minutes about assholes. Maybe you can change it up a little bit.
Tracy's just like one of those people that's like you just trust. Yeah, it's like the wisdom. It's like she's just correct about everything. Like she's gotten to bat for me a lot. Like I really didn't even get to like feature for anyone at the club until, because I was like afraid to be like, Nathan,
throw your hat in there.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would do like a few shows with her, and she'd be like, we need to get you featuring in the club. She's like, I'll talk to Nathan, and like I'd be on a show with Zoe, and like we would all get paid, and like Tracy would give me like her money she got from the show. She's like you drove so far. I'm like, Tracy, you have a daughter that is pretty talented. You can. Zoe's like, they always talk about you at dinner, and I
always wanted a boy.
Yeah, they're like that Donny's so funny, and Zoe's like, I cannot stand it. But yeah, no, she's gotten to bat for me a lot, and it's.
Has she ever taken, like, you can be honest, like, has Tracy ever taken like nude pictures of you? Like,
no. Wow, I didn't know.
I need to know.
I don't
we need
think
to know.
so.
We need to weed out the creepers in the group. It would make she like would hide it. Like, if anyone's gonna be a creeper, it's Tracy Dolan.
That's
she
funny,
hides it really
how
well.
much you just praised her for the last 5 minutes.
Because then I was like, then you started saying how much she talks
best.
about you, and I'm like, what if this whole time
Tracy Dolan
she's the creeper of the group?
Well, like Zoe's joked about like her and I like being like a gay couple before, because we have like the same haircut and
she like steals your semen to impregnate Zoe with.
Yeah.
It's just gotten so dark. I'm just like, how obsessed with Donny is she?
I don't even understand how that worked. I don't even understand. Like, I'm trying to like dissect the actual joke in that, but it was really just like a horrific and disgusting statement. I don't know that.
I want to know how far this goes. Like her obsession with you.
Yeah, I think she's just like. I think the obsession is pretty much Zoe's just like, she's like more proud of you than she is me. That's about as far as the praise goes. But yeah, no, I love Tracy Dolan. Tracy Dolan's cool. You good?
Oh God. I don't know why that it went that way.
I mean, I love a good gross. Like the last time you and I have been like was it the roast of Bobby Pellegrino? I think that was the last time you and I saw each other in person. It's like I had,
but we've never talked like this before, ever.
And I had like I had gross jokes, and then like I had like the wrong side of the head. Like
oh, please, like say it, because I love roast jokes.
Yeah,
anyway.
so we did the roast of Bobby Pellegrino,
so
and
funny.
I had a joke that was like Meredith hosts a podcast called Wrong Side of the Hedge. Oh, wrong side of the hedge is what Andy says when he eats Meredith's ass. Like I had a joke. I had a joke like that. Here's what's funny about that joke. Like
Here's what's funny about that joke. And he pulls down his screen and has a pointer.
Here's why this joke is so good. So I wrote like the roast jokes for everyone. I like, it was like the day before I left class. I was like in the library at my school, and I sat for like a few hours and I just like wrote, and I came up with that joke in like a second. That was the first joke I wrote, and like the drive up,
I'm so honored.
I was like, oh, like wrong side of the hedge. I'm like, oh, it's like low hanging fruit. Like everyone's gonna think of that. Like someone else has that joke, and I went late in the lineup.
Yes.
So I was sitting there the whole time, and I was like, oh, someone's gonna make this joke, and no one made that joke. And not only did no one make it, after everyone was like, how did you think of that? That was so crazy. And then I was driving home, and I was like, oh, I'm just sick. You know what I mean? I'm just demented that I thought of that. And I was like, oh, this is so... Everyone's going to think of this. And it was just like, no, my mind just went to a place that...
I feel so much better about myself now, because I was the one picturing Tracy Dolan stealing your sperm and impregnating someone.
Why?
So now I feel better about at least my brain going there.
Yeah, we'll temper that better a little. I don't think you should feel that much better.
That's not so
You should feel a little better, maybe. Not.
Wow.
I don't know.
I wouldn't go strutting down the street.
Yeah, don't be like. I mean, I'm glad you feel like you found someone that's like relatable, but don't spin this into like, oh, normal now, because that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, but I was driving home that night and I was like, oh, it's like there's just something wrong with me that I came up with that joke almost instantly, because I was like, oh, I was like, Rob's gonna think of this joke. Ian Paul's gonna
Yeah,
make this
because Rob
joke.
does really dirty stuff too.
Yeah, on
like,
a roast show,
he's like the sweetest, unassuming guy, and then at roast, he just like he's like Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, I needed them to go like more hard against me on the roast, because I got away like.
I gave you the lamest joke, Donnie, because
it was really good though.
we hadn't had this conversation yet, and I was like, I know Donnie is a comedian, but like I don't know him as a person because we haven't really ever like sat and chatted. So all I could say was that.
Your joke was like, you have a big mouth.
Yeah, that was
like
it. I said that you're the Richard kind of
Yeah, no, it was funny.
comedy scene.
But I was just like,
and that was it.
Yeah, I don't know. I love that show. And I was like, I should have gotten hurt more, because I did kind of want to hear that one joke that I was like, oh, like I wanted someone to make the joke where I was like, I didn't know that about myself.
Yeah, and your face kind of falls.
Yeah,
and then you get introspective.
I kind of wanted that moment, because I felt like I deserved it, because I just kind of like. I don't know. I was just like the most crude, and I was like pretty mean to some people on that show, and I was like, oh, I guess I should have been nicer if no one was gonna make fun of me. But it was good. It was good.
Do you like doing roast material? Do you like it?
I love roast shows. I was so excited to be on that one. Like I only want to be on them from now on. And I have like a doc now where I'm just like writing constantly jokes about everyone.
Oh my god. You know what I'd love to
good.
see is like, I don't know why we haven't seen Mo on a roast yet, because that guy is like writing roast material constantly
for sure.
too. Like we saw him at an open mic one time and he was watching somebody and he just had his arms like folded like this. And Julia Colasanti like leaned over and she goes, I just am thinking that Mo is just writing such like burn material about that person up there. And he came over and she said that and he's like, yeah, that's what I was doing.
Yeah, no, he like, I love Mo, because he's a guy that's like, you don't think he has like opinions about anyone, and then you bring someone up and he says something and I'm like, oh, you hate this person.
Yeah, he thought about that person for a long time.
Yeah, no, he'd be great. He'd also be like a good guy to just like have on a show to make fun of, because it's like no joke is gonna be sadder than just like his existence. You know what I mean? It's like you're not like everything that's happened to that guy. It's not like a joke is gonna be like, this is where it falls apart for me. You know,
you don't joke about his appearance. He's not gonna be like,
he's not gonna be like, oh, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. You know,
no, he's definitely not gonna say
the worst thing. But yeah.
Having Tracy Dolan steal your sperm would be the worst thing.
The worst thing that happened to you?
Actually, probably not while it's happening. That wouldn't be bad.
Oh, that's how she's stealing it? I guess I didn't understand like how she'd be stealing it without doing that. So I guess that's my... But that's just me knowing so little about the body.
About your own body?
Yeah, I don't know why steal is like... I didn't know she'd be like doing that to me. I thought she would just like find a way to like
like take a syringe and like
or like
steal it.
I like bust and she just like catches it and she's like she's like you won't be getting this back. Like I didn't think she was. Yeah, I don't know.
She has it in a little sack. And she's
sack,
sneaking off with it
like
into
a dripping sack. My mom's gonna listen to this, which is really exciting.
That's what everyone says. Like, my mom's gonna watch this, or my mom's gonna hear this. Oh, I just also love the idea of Tracy making that sound effect you just made.
That's how she talks to me. It's like a lot of her comedy.
Like a smoker.
I'm Tracy Dolan. I don't.
Oh, that would actually, if she added that would make it great. If she said a smoker's voice.
Yeah, I think now she's in the place where she can take some advice from us with her stand-up career. I think that's a great.
Yeah, now it's time for you to listen,
note,
Tracy.
I mean, I'll say it to Zoe all the time. Like I'll do it because Zoe did like a gender swapped comedy show. I don't know if you heard about that.
Oh,
it was
I
at
think,
Lincoln's.
I heard about it.
Yeah, I went as like Amelia Earhart because we had to like swap.
You
and like
got the best, most random costumes.
Yeah, everyone was like creating like a character of the opposite gender, and I was just like, I'm gonna be just Amelia Earhart.
Then did you do material as her?
Yeah,
like burn material.
No, my first joke was like, "What's the deal with airline food?" And like that was like. Yeah, it was fun. I wrote like, I needed to do like 5 minutes. I really wrote like a minute and a half of material. And when I was up there, I was like, oh, this is bad. But for a while, I wanted to just go as Tracy Dolan. And Zoe was like, don't do that. And I was like, I want to be Tracy Dolan. And she's like, what are you going to joke about? I'm like, I'm Tracy Dolan. You know, and she's like, my mother doesn't sound like that. And I'm like, well,
yet.
I think they're all going to get it. I think they're going to know that I'm Tracy Dolan. But... yeah.
Now I'm picturing us like going up to Tracy and going, Tracy, like we have some advice that would make your comedy career better, and she's like, what is it? And we just like slide a pack of cigarettes, a pack of Newports, like, shh.
It's all.
Just gonna leave those there. If you take them, you take them. But that's all I have to say.
Because she feels like Zoe's like stealing her thunder. She's like, I don't want to go to Mike anymore because.
Oh,
Zoe, she like genuinely says that. And I think that's like sad, but also like hysterical. But so she does need she needs to change it up. I guess Zoe's like stealing her fame.
Well, let's see. I mean, there's like this famous story about Jerry Lee Lewis, like whether or not he was gonna go in front of. Oh, it was Chuck Berry. And he was supposed to open for Chuck Berry. And he's like, I'm not opening for him. He should be opening for me. And they had this whole back and forth. And finally, he had to open for Chuck Berry. And so he went out and he like set the piano on fire and then like played it while it was burning. Okay. And then he's like, follow that, like, fucker. Like, that's what Tracy needs to do. She needs to do something like... I don't know what it would be, like come out naked, set something on fire. I don't know.
They joke like so differently, and they use like different names on stage. I don't know how it's like Tracy's like, she's stealing my thunder. It's like not.
No one's thinking about you anymore about that, with her.
Yeah. And like Tracy like sets herself up for failure because it's always Tracy that's like, that was my daughter, by the way. And the audience is like, we liked her more than you. You know what I mean? Like she.
Version 2.0.
Yeah, she's like setting herself up. She needs to just be like, I don't know who that was, and it would work.
Who the fuck was that?
It would work better. Yeah, Zoe's hilarious. It's good that like I've kind of been at the club for like 3 generations of like the younger group of people. Because I was there when it was like Sam Badali and like Matt Haverty.
That's right. Yeah.
And there was the 3 of us and like Jonah Joseph. I don't know if you know.
Yes, I know Jonah.
And it was just like the 4 of us like looked exactly the same. Yes. Doing like, the same jokes.
And we would say that. We're like, those college guys. The college guys.
Now it's like more of like, it's like a better cast. It's like a variety. It's like me, Kenzie Markello, Brian Thompson, Zoe Bernstein, and then Jackson Greenleaf. And I'm like, this is like.
Yeah.
This is a classic like TV show group of people.
Yes, it's like the Breakfast Club.
Because we have like the gay guy, the gay woman, the smart woman, the stupid guy, and then the kid in the wheelchair. And it's like pretty. When before it was just like Matt, Joan, and I looking exactly the same. So.
You guys make like a full hand of cards now.
Yeah,
like if you guys were trading cards, like that's a full deck.
Yeah, and it's like I'm glad that. The group of the young people all have like different like topics they joke about. And it's just like it's better, I think.
Do you like how? Okay, and this is the other thing I was wondering about. Have you gotten to the point yet where, and do you do this where you've started to do your material that you've prepared, but it's not really working with the crowd? Can you pivot yet?
I've gotten pretty good at. Well, I'm not that good at like pivoting entirely without like looking like flustered necessarily, but I have gotten way better at just like staying up there and just like taking the punches, you know, because it's like I'm up there, I know these are my best jokes. I've destroyed rooms with these jokes. This is just the people that bent nails being a little rude,
being a little bent.
Yeah, exactly. And that was like I'm getting better at that, definitely. But do I pivot like gracefully? Not really. Because usually like a graceful pivot for me is like, that was terrible. And then I go to a new joke and it's like, that just makes you look like a loser. You're like a baby if you do something like that. But Yeah, I did not. I did Bent Nails like 2 weeks ago, and I did not have a good set there, which stinks because I always had great sets of Bent Nails.
Yeah, that show, yeah.
And I was like, I love Bent Nails, and everybody was like, we hate Bent. It'd be like Rob Hill's like, I don't like Bent Nails, and Brian Thompson didn't like it. Zoe hated Bent Nails, and I was like, you guys are like Bent Nails is the best. And then I had one bad set there, and I was like, I don't like Bent Nails anymore, and I'm never doing it again. But yeah, no, that was rough. But
what's been like your weirdest? I mean, you were at the Vineyard when the lights went out. Yeah,
show.
Talk about that. Like
that was just like,
and I wasn't even there.
Yeah, so I did like Meredith's Wit and Wine show.
Yeah,
Paul Tenney was the guest host.
Paul Tenney was the guest host. Yeah,
which is just like, oof. That alone, I was like, this won't go well. Okay. And then pair that with like technical difficulties. I'm like, there's no way Paul gets us out of this unscathed.
Oh, Jesus.
So our mics weren't working. I forget what the reasoning was. We just like couldn't.
And then it was during this like crazy storm.
Power outage. So it was like we were in the dark. We didn't have microphones. They didn't bring us upstairs.
Were you performing when the lights went out, or did you just go in?
It was like before, like everyone was performing in the dark.
Oh my God,
and it's like I don't know if
crazy.
they were planning on like having us outside at that show, but it's like we couldn't be outside and we couldn't. I think it was raining outside.
Because we would always change from like outside to inside.
Yeah, it was storming, so we couldn't be outside and we couldn't be upstairs because we didn't have like the mic stuff set up. So I was just like doing stand up, like. We would just like walk around the corner and we like be on the floor, and it's like it's just like
so crazy.
I mean, there is like a psychology to comedy that I think like most people don't understand, because I've tried to explain to my friends. I'm like, you need to understand that like being on a stage, like being above people and like the visual field, just like it like makes comedy work better, because like I can see the whole audience.
Yeah,
they're looking up at me, and it's just like I don't know, it's just like a better way.
You're automatically the center of focus.
Yes, and it's just like a better way of like entertaining and performing. So it's like when I did that show and I walked onto this like concrete floor, like no walk-up music, in the dark, no microphone, and everyone is like sitting on like the tall like bar stools, bar chairs, and it's like they're looking down at me, and it's like I don't know, it goes, it's like you. Like a comedian, like you're the star. When in the situations like that, like I was like a jester.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes, that's the
and I was,
dynamic
like, in the pit,
difference.
and they were like
yes
throwing tomatoes at me, and
yep.
that was just like, I mean, we did it. It was like a funny experience, but I was like, oh, I was like, no power. I was like, how about we just
now?
Go
do you do like if the mic's not working? Do you still hold the mic?
Yeah.
You have to.
Because that's how I just like if I practice jokes now, I like.
Yeah, because it gives your hand something to do.
Mic, yeah.
Yeah.
And you like move. You get good at like moving the other hand. So yeah, that just like looks so awkward though. Without
You're just standing there. When you put your hands in your paw, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't
know what to do.
Yeah.
It would totally throw me off. It'd be like being up there naked if you don't have.
And like I'm like a mic like clencher when I get nervous.
Yeah.
It's like a habit of mine. Like I bring it close to my face with like both hands. So like, even on that show, like I was getting nervous and I was like, and that looked like I was like sucking a cock in front of everybody. So it's like it's like this child came out clearly nervous. He's talking up at us, and then I was like sweating, and I was like, so it was. It was rough. It was rough, but that's like my habit. Like when I get nervous, I'm like, I hold.
You know who does that too? I've noticed is Josh Starr. He like jerks off the mic stand. He's like,
some people. It's like what's interesting about like a group of comedians is that everyone has their skills, everyone has like their weaknesses, and there's just like so many people that like I see them on stage and I'm like, oh my god. How is that guy doing that? Like Brian Thompson is a guy that's like very comfortable on stage, I think. And he'll like take the mic off the stand and then he'll like hold the mic stand with his other hand, and I'm like, that's such a good habit.
Looks so casual.
Yeah, because now it's like you don't look nervous. And he's just like so good about like keeping his other hand like doing something that's not like, clearly like you're anxious, but
and it makes the audience just go.
Yeah. And when I first started doing comedy, like, and I was clearly nervous, I would, like, pace back and forth a lot, which, like, I don't think anyone necessarily saw that as, like, me being nervous. I was like, just walking around, and I watched, like, my old clips from the first year I was doing it, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to bring back
Yeah.
the movement, because it kind of made my stuff like more fun, I think.
Yes.
Because now I watch and I'm just like, I stand there and I
That's
like
all
lean
of
back and
us.
forth, and I'm just like, oh, where did that come from? I don't think that's like, I don't think it's nerves though necessarily, because when I was nervous I would move around.
Yeah.
But like it's just like a habit that I haven't been able to
Well, and
break.
it makes the audience like wake up a little bit more.
Yeah,
if you're,
when you're
being dynamic.
and you go back and forth. And
Yeah.
it's just like I like talking and walking. Just like it looked.
Well, and
looked
you
more
have some
professional.
act outs too and
Yeah,
stuff that
and
you
it's
do.
like which like I like brought this, you know, this like criticism of myself to like Levi or someone, and Levi's like, who cares? Just like stay there. And I'm like, I'm asking the wrong guy for advice. Okay. I'm asking the wrong guy. But he's like, he did say one time, he's like, well, I think you standing still works, because then when you do a big movement, it's kind of funny because you were there the whole time.
it's
And
like
I'm like, that's,
jogs
I'm like,
you
that,
up.
I'm like, that's true, because it's like a sudden like jump up.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like the not intentional standing there. It's just like a habit. That's why I'm
Yes.
like, it's a problem. And then I bring like the mic close to my face, and it's just like,
Well, and I think like I can see why bringing it back would be cool, because so many of us are just like behind the mic people that if you are in a show, you then add like, oh, this person is more animated in a show that has a bunch of people that aren't. So you're adding variety to like a show night. Like,
yeah, for sure.
this person's more like charismatic and moves around more and is less like Stephen Wrighty, you know, in front of
Yeah.
a mic.
Everyone's got like their own habit. Like when I get on stage, I always like immediately, I like throw my book down on the stool. I like move it. I don't know why I do. I'm like, I move it over like 3 inches. I'm like, in order for me to be up here, that stool needs, and it's not like there's like a designated spot that I put it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that stool needs to move 3 inches in a direction before I can do my
It's
set.
like your little like
Yeah,
this
and I move
action.
the stool, and then
yeah,
I grab
moving it
and I
out.
like unmic it, and I always turn around and put the mic stand behind me. And like,
Yeah.
as I do that, I'm like, give it up for your host. Like I've done that. I watch back all of my open mic recordings, and I do that every single time. And it's just like, oh, it's like, why can't I like leave the
Because
mic
it's your
stand
little,
there?
it's your little ritual.
Yeah, I just like, you can't like break. I'm like, why do I bring my book up? I've never looked at my book.
It's your
ever,
little
and-
Dumbo feather. Like you're like, I got to do this.
It's just like I have to have
see
it up
it.
there, even though it's like I would never be like, I forgot my joke, and like looked at. Yeah, I've never wanted to be that person.
You're not
that,
Janine
like,
Garofalo.
Yeah, not that like when I see people do that at mic though, I'm like, oh, it's open mic, like that makes sense. And
Right.
I'm just trying to remember what they wrote, but I just like, my brain's like, we're never doing that, and it's just like I don't know why I bring it up there and set it on like the little pedestal, the stool, but I don't know. That's just like everyone's got their habit, I think.
That's
but,
really true.
yeah.
I like I started doing like writing out my set on my hand. And even though like there's no way I'm going to look down at my hand and be like, you know, like that's so obvious that you've got like crib notes. But I get that of like, I'm not going to use this, but I just need it so my subconscious knows that I'm not going to forget.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah, I think just like writing it out, because I usually write my jokes out like 15 minutes before mic now, and I get them like fresh in my head. But I mean, when you're up on stage, like however it comes out is just how the joke comes out.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's like, I don't know if it's like a fight or flight like stress thing, but it's like how I deliver a joke on stage is never how I thought I could write it, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my, that kind of worked. Like, how did I not think of that like hours before? But it's just like you kind of like find the
Well, it's that communication that you're having with the crowd.
And I think it's like better to keep a joke like loose and not perfect before mic, I've learned, because now when I go up and I do have a good set, that like sort of high of like, I'm good at comedy, I'm funny, then I can go back and like edit the joke and make it better like immediately.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like everyone's got their own like writing system, but I've always been Google Doc, and then when I write it in the notebook, that's when I change it. But
That's so interesting to me. I find that stuff fascinating.
yeah.
Because I like am somebody who I come up with all my stuff when I'm driving in the car, and I'll just hit record, and I've got some sort of like premise that I want to do, and I'll like just start out like verbally going off on it in the car. Mm-hmm. If I like sit down to have like a blank screen is like very intimidating to me.
Yeah. I'm pretty good about like, I have like a funny thought I can like keep it there. Usually I try to just like share the thought with someone almost
Yes.
immediately, and they're like, "What?"
Because
like,
is there anything to this? Should I even
And
spend
they're like,
time
what are you
on
talking
this?
about? I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm like, I was testing a joke. I ruined a lot of like potential like friendships by just like, I'm like, what do you think of this? And I like say something random, and they're like, what the?
Yeah, and it's usually like
we
a
weren't
weird
talking,
drop
we weren't
in.
talking about that. And I was like, well, I was just trying to take notes there.
When you were talking about the jester, like the idea of being a jester, it reminded me of this show. I had this really weird show one time that I was at Einstein's.
That's the worst. That's wait. Before I don't want to like cut. I don't want to cut the legs off this story.
No,
but I want,
just like the idea that you understand.
Yeah, I want you to rank like. Don't. And this isn't going to be a ranking of like the host of the showcase is bad.
No, because they're just
like,
trying to
the
bring
vibe of the
shows.
show, but
Yeah.
like, can you rank like from your least favorite? Actually, no. From your favorite to your least favorite, like the venues in the state you've gone to.
Oh,
Because
Jesus Christ.
because Einstein's is.
Thank you for that disclaimer. That has nothing to do with the host.
No, because it's like Matt.
Nothing.
Like I only did Einstein's and like Matt Haverty hosted the show, and he's just like a phenomenal, like, very charismatic guy. That guy's like, I hate that. I hate that guy for how charismatic
he's so good.
he is.
Yeah.
But Einstein's is. Spoiler alert. Spoiling the ranking. Einstein's is my least favorite place to do. I think everything about it's like anti-comedy. The fact that you're quite literally in a pit.
Yes.
You're in a pit.
That's why
you
when you were talking about it, I was like, oh, I felt that way.
It's like you can only see the people sitting around the.
Yes.
It's so
and you
bad.
can clearly see that they're not having a good time.
They're not having a good time.
Yes.
And they're talking behind you because they don't even know. They don't know there's like a show going on usually because you're like in a hole like 8 feet away and it doesn't. Yeah, that's easily my least.
It was so bad.
Worst place to do comedy.
The only saving grace was that Mike Thomas was on the lineup. So we were sitting next to each other and he was just commenting like under his breath about how bad it was. And like just saying the funniest, he was totally like the saving grace. So like it was a Valentine's Day show. And one of the comedians had did this like baller move of like getting like all of these like bottles of champagne. And he took the cages off them and then walked away. And randomly one like blew and got all over Mike. And then this was before the show. So then we went into the pit, which
So bad.
it just, okay, I've seen too many movies, clearly. I don't know if you've ever seen, this is graphic as hell, dude. But I can't get it out of my head. I can't get it out of my head. So there's this movie called Requiem for a Dream.
I know the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's this part in the movie. It's right at the end, and it's one of those things that I wish I'd never seen because it pops into my head, and it popped into my head at this freaking Einstein show. So, so if you haven't seen the movie, it is depressing as hell.
I don't think I've seen it. I just
so
know
depressing.
I just know the movie.
So it's about this like these drug addicts and Jennifer Connelly's in it, and she's and it shows like how bad like addiction is and like what you'll do to like get your fix. And at the end, she is trying to get drug money, and she does it by
Doing comedy at Einstein?
No, I
Einstein's
wish. She does it by getting she's naked and she's with another woman, and she gets into this pit, and there's like a dick, and like they're like doing this like dildo into each other's asses.
Uh-huh.
And there's these guys like down and they're just chucking money into this nasty, disgusting pit, watching her and this other woman. And it was my first time like in this pit, and I was like, I am not doing end to end. Like this is not happening. I just instantly started picturing that I was not Jennifer Connelly because she's a very attractive woman. I was like the faceless ass that was in the shot, and I'm like, I am not sticking a dildo up my ass. Like this is no way. And then it just was like instant.
The only thing that doesn't work about that like analogy is like the money. It's like you don't get money.
Yeah, you just get people
you don't get money at
straight face
Einstein's,
staring
you get, like,
at you.
Yeah, you get like $2.
I would rather have the sex pit because at least those people were into it and they were like having a good time.
Yeah, I hate Einstein. It's so bad.
But no, like, so the person that was hosting it that night, I think it was
been Matt, right?
It wasn't Matt. It was.
Yeah, I guess
it was
that makes
Chad
sense.
Blodgett.
Okay,
and
okay.
he was hosting it, and he was trying to do this little show where you like spin a wheel and whatever lands on. It kind of sounds like the sex thing as I'm saying it, like the spinning of the wheel. Okay, so and he was doing a good job. It's not his fault that the venue was just not conducive to.
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know what
also,
that venue is conducive to.
It's also like I don't know. I'm gonna go there, even though I was like, we're not gonna make fun of the people that host these shows. But it's like I feel like it's like a weird correlation. It's like the room is already not conducive to like comedy in any way, and the host was like, let's not just do a stand-up showcase. Let's just do like a weird this is also like a game show.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it was a
so
little.
It's like it's after like bombing in the pit on Matt's show. I have to like spin this like punishment wheel, and it's like I'm like, can't we just have like a showcase, Matt? I don't want to do this like challenge after I like bomb. Like after I bomb, not even before I do.
Oh,
my
you
comedy.
guys also had a wheel?
Well, I don't remember what it was, but I forgot what I had to do, and I did like 2 Einstein shows for Matt, and like one of them I had to like dance with him, and I was just like, dude.
Dude, you had more of the Jennifer Connelly experience than I had.
Yeah,
Like,
he's like, do a dance. I'm like, Matt, you're good. I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, that's just like awkward. And he's like, well, dancing's fun. I'm like, dancing's funny for you because you're good at dancing. You know what I mean? Like, that was the whole thing. And it was like I forget what the challenge was. It was like he read off like the titles of like porn videos or something. Or like, and I had
oh
to
my
like,
God, you had such a Requiem for a Dream experience.
I had to
what
sit,
the hell?
I had to be like, is that made up or is that real? Like that was the whole game.
Yeah.
And he was like reading like yes or no off the paper. And then like when it was all said and done, I was like, he knew I didn't want to dance. He claims he didn't do this. But I know for a fact, like, I was like, that's not real. And he was like, wrong. He could have just, like, said I was, and I would have had no control over it because he wanted to make me, I think he might have done that still to this day. But he's like, no. He's like, no, I wasn't going to. I'm like, dude, you definitely, it was like, I don't know why in the moment I wasn't like, let me see the paper to make sure you're not lying right now. But yeah, I was like, dude,
there's no fact checker, like, sitting there.
Yeah.
Like, Googling shit.
You're wrong. I was like, that one's real. He's like, nope, I made that up. But I'm like, dude, you're lying right now.
Oh my God.
You're lying.
He made that situation even like the audience was like this part of the pit and then he's like in the pit. He was like also shoving you into the pit.
Yeah, I mean, he's just like more comfortable making a fool of himself than I am, I think. And he just like does it very gracefully. And I just get so awkward. And I was like, dude. I was like, please don't make me dance. I'd rather do like karaoke with you, and I don't like karaoke. But I was like, don't make me dance. Don't make me dance. And I was pissed. I had like a few high school friends that came to that show, and they like met Matt for the first time, and they're like, Matt really goes for it. Matt's just like really charismatic. And I'm like, yeah, we love Matt. I understand. Everybody likes Matt. And then I like had to dance with him, and I walked back to my friends, and my friend Gabe was like, dude, he's like, I need to give you a hug. You look rough right now. Because I was like so bad.
No.
But like it was
you tried working for Matt.
Yeah, I actually did. I think I did have a good set on that show. I think it was the first time I did Einstein's where I was like, that was
God.
rough.
Oh.
I was on that show with Mike Thomas. It was the first time I ever really like talked to Mike Thomas.
Mike Thomas.
Yeah, and he
on all the Einstein shows.
I think about this all the time. I've told so many people this story. I don't think Mike remembers doing it. It was like one of the like. I don't know if he was like trying to make fun of. I think he was trying to make fun of me, but it was just such a weird thing to say to me, having like he didn't know me at all. But like I did my set. I think like Maddie Cross went up first, and then I went up second, and I came back, and like Mike was gonna be the closer, and I like went back to my table, and I usually always wear like a jacket on stage. I don't know. I'm just like a jacket guy, whatever, sweater jacket, and he said to me, he's like you know you can hang up your jacket right here. And then he pointed like a coat hanger, and I was like, what? He's like, you don't have to wear your jacket on stage. You can hang it up. And then I was like, I was like, what do you mean? I'm like, I like this jacket. That's why I wore it on stage. And then he's like, yeah, I guess everybody has to have their thing. And I was like, that's my thing?
You're the jacket guy.
And it was the fact that it was like, I think it was clearly making fun of me, but it was also like making fun of the way I dress, like Mike Thomas, who wears like the same like low budget like cartoon character.
Like all that. He always wears this all that hat. Yeah.
Like the gray hoodie. But him just being like, you don't have to dress like that on stage. I want to be like, you don't have to dress like that every day. Like I was just like sort of, but like I didn't even say it in the moment because I love Mike. Like I think Mike is such a nice guy.
Yes.
And like, but like I did, like he was another guy that like I respected him so much as a comedian because that was like right after he like won the competition and like I thought he was so funny and I was just like, why? I was like, why did you say that to me? Because it's not like, because he's not good at like making fun of you in like a roast way. Like it wasn't like, oh, you always wearing the same. Like it wasn't delivered like that. It was just like very
straight face.
It was very genuine. He's like, yeah, you don't have to wear your jacket on stage. And I was like, thank you. Thank you for telling me I have like free will in this moment that I can take my jacket off. But yeah, I like my jacket. Oh, all right, everybody's got to have their thing on stage. I'm like, that's my thing? Like a piece of clothing?
I thought the words coming out of my mouth were my thing.
Yeah, and it's like, well, it's not even like it's like a crazy outfit. Like Jared Hall wears that like blue suit. And it's like, that's like a thing. But it's like me, it was just like another, like an additional layer of clothing. And he was like, yeah, everyone's got to have their thing. And I was like, what? But he just like said it to me like so straight. And then he was,
I can hear it. I can hear it so easily.
He's like, you did good. And I was like, okay. I was like, who?
Do you feeling bad that you pointed out my coat now?
Yeah, I was like, oh man, I want Mike Thomas to like me and respect me. And then I found out like he's living with Levi, and I'm like, I don't need Mike Thomas's respect as much as I thought I did, I guess. But
he was like, it's so funny because when I did the Einstein show, he was like the one that I had the opposite with him where it's like just kind of like cleaving to him to get me through it. He was sitting next to me and he said, one of the comedians went up and was doing he kind of pulled a Meredith with the asshole thing. He was just going all in on IBS, like just all in. Like every joke coming out of his mouth was about his problem with IBS. and Mike just leaned over and he's like, dude, you had all day to come up with stuff, and like this is what you come up with. You had literally all day to do this, and however long you knew about this show, you had all day. Yeah. So sometimes I keep that in the back of my head, like if I'm like gonna perform, I'm like, I better not have a Mike Thomas situation where he would be saying, you had all day to think this up. Yeah. This better be a good set. You literally had all day.
Yeah, no, he's just like.
But
I love Mike Thomas. Like, he's very funny. But I was just like, I still think about the moment. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, why did you say that to me? That is just so.
Everybody needs their thing.
But then also sometimes I'm just like. As the comedian, I'm just like, oh, that was like a dig, that was a roast, and sometimes I forget. I'm like, oh no, we're just like socially awkward, like weird people.
Yes, 100%.
Like, in his brain, he's like, this is like a normal thing I can say right
now.
But really, I was like,
when you're talking about roast jokes, like Natalie, shit, dude, she's amazing at roast jokes too. She roasted me one time, and that was like a thing that I was like, oh yeah, like. I know that's a thing. I know that's a problem that I have. And she discovered it. She said something about like, that was like the worst. She was talking about something really bad that had happened to her. And she's like, but the only thing that was worse than that is getting stuck in a conversation with Meredith at the bar. And I was like, I know that people feel that way. I know that that's a thing. And she just like opened it up to the world. And I was expecting some like slow claps at that moment from like other comedians going, spank it, finally. Like,
You hate to be the guy that's
'Cause
like,
it's awkward.
when you find out you're the person who's like trapped someone else in a conversation.
Yes.
I think that like, I'm sure I do that to some people, but usually I feel like I'm the victim of getting held. And
Well, how do you know?
A lot of like the older people, because it's like 5 of the young comics are sitting around a table, and I'm just like trying my hardest to like be focused on my book, but I'm always the guy that they're like, and I turn around and I'm like, oh, it's like Charlie Messing or someone. And
And it's always like, for me anyway, and I don't know if it's like the people talking to you, it's like this nervous energy of, oh my God, I have to say something. And so then I start talking. And then I'm like, I don't know if they want this to be done. I want it to be done, but I don't know if they want it to be done. If I end this conversation now, are they going to think I'm rude? Like, I just need to keep talking.
with the older guys, it's the fact that it's like never even about like comedy sometimes, where I'm just like, this couldn't.
It's like, does this look cancerous?
This
Like,
couldn't wait. Yeah, or it's like Charlie Messing will be like, he'll like tell the whole story and he'll be like, and that's why we call it ginger ale. And I was like, dude, I didn't need to hear like the origins of this.
you have like a full beard.
I'm like, what
after
the?
thing's done.
I have like a whole joke about it now, like talking to like the elderly and how it's like rough sometimes, because it's like you think the story's over and then they reload like a new story, and they like
They reload. Does their head go back?
yeah,
like
a peasant spit. And they like they collect more spit so they can like they gotta like moisturize those gums so they can tell the next story.
Oh my God.
It's true though, yeah, and that's like tracking like Charlie Messing, because he'll like tell me like
You're so unabashed. It's amazing.
yeah, because that's literally what a conversation with him is like. And my joke is he's like that's why they call it ginger ale. And then he like tilts his head back and he's like I used to play the oboe, and I'm like, dude, this isn't over. Like there's more to this.
Did any good story start with I used to play the oboe?
No, I don't.
Has that ever been led to something good?
I just like I was like, why singling me out? But it's like
I think you have a very like kind presence, I would say, or
I'm like,
patience.
I'm always like this, like
yeah, maybe like try
yeah,
scowling a little
scowling
more,
people, but like
and
I
maybe don't put on
then,
as much deodorant.
yeah, and that's like
just make yourself gross.
yeah, I try to just like handle situations like that now in a way where I can make like other people laugh. Like Charlie Messing, he'll walk in now, and I'm like, hey, Sea Dog, what's up, Sea Dog?
Sea Dog. I bet he loves that. I bet he loves like feeling like a young guy.
I don't know. I feel like he doesn't understand where it even came
He's
from.
like, I'm not a dog.
But like, Jackson he was like laughing. He's like, yo, it's Sea Dog, and I'm just like, I love to just make it someone else. So now it's like I'm like, Sea Dog. I'm like, get over here. What are we talking about? Like I just like
You're
just
like
go
leaning in.
Yeah, I just like go all into it now, but.
How do you extricate yourself from conversations? This is what I'm going to start asking people, because I need to know, do you pick out, I want to be like socially aware as I try to talk with people more. How the fuck do you end a conversation, and how the fuck do you know if the other person wants to end it?
Yeah,
how do you get out?
Because like usually when I'm in a conversation that I don't want to be in, I'm saying like a lot of like yeah, like like agreeing.
Yes.
And it's like, because I think that's going to, like, bring us to the conclusion. But it's like, I think if you just say, like, yeah, you just kind of, like, pour.
Yes, they're like, oh, they're really into what I'm saying.
Gas.
Yes.
Like, oh, I wonder if they're going to agree with everything else I'm going to say after this. And they keep going. So you have to, like, bring a conversation to, like, a conclusion. You have to be like, yeah,
bring
totally.
it down to a landing.
Yeah, you got to, like, end it somehow. Because if you're just like, oh, yeah, no, totally. Like, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Do you do a well? Is that it? Like where you start the ejector
I don't think
seat?
I'm good at ending conversations. I think that's also.
I think everybody sucks at it.
Yeah, because I think like most people, I think we are like, we're conditioned to do that. Like, no, yeah, for sure. We say like for sure, and then a person's like, oh my god, this is the first time someone's agreed with me. I'm gonna see if they agree with me
Yes.
on every other thing that's in my head right now. But I have a hard time being like, but you can't ever just be like.
Shut the fuck
Dude,
up.
that's just like, then you just feel like a terrible person.
No, exactly.
You can't be like, is this over? Like, you can't.
Because it makes me not want to leave the house, because I'm like, I don't know how to interact with people in a way that we're both going to feel comfortable.
Yeah, and you just always feel like a bad person. And then it's like, I don't know.
Can you imagine?
We live in this world where it's like, well, no, it's like, your mental health, like you didn't want to talk to that person, you're allowed to set the boundary to be like, I don't have the conversation, but it's like something my therapist would say, and I'm like, I don't think so. I'm like, I still feel like a bad guy that I was like, I don't really want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to anyone right now. It's like, I don't like saying that.
Yes.
It makes me feel.
Even though you're like, oh, I'm practicing a boundary and that's supposed to be healthy.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel good.
Setting up the boundary always like stresses me out more than letting the boundary not exist, if that makes sense. And I don't think that's like, I think it's just like a personal thing. You just gotta like pick and choose like what's worse for you, I guess. But for me, it's like setting up the boundary is always more awkward than the invisible boundary getting crossed. So I'm just like, this is what it's gonna be.
Yes.
I'm just gonna talk to this guy and.
Can you imagine? I've thought about this sometimes, like how funny this would be if like our bodies, like physically, like when you're zoning out, your eyes.
Here we go.
You know how old dogs, like when you wake them up too soon, they have that that like nictitating membrane that's like gone over their eyes, and like if they wake up, it hasn't gone down yet, and you're like, Jesus Christ, it's like this veiny, like nasty thing. Can you imagine?
You just wish your bodies in a conversation could like film
and like
the film.
it just starts to go up, and the person's like, okay, like Jesus, like you can tell. It's like, I'm sorry, and you can say that like as it's happening. I'm sorry. It's just this is what's happening.
Sorry,
My
this is just
body's
like my body's rejecting.
Yes.
My body's shutting down listening to you talk.
Yes, and it's like it's a visual cue. Like if someone instantly had old dog cataracts, you're like, okay, I guess we're done.
And that'd be a good way. It's like, sorry, I'd love.
I'm picturing your voice coming out of
I'd love to keep talking to you. My body's dying listening to this conversation. My body's shutting down right in front of you.
I'm picturing all of this coming out of Donnie with like the old dog membranes like over his eyes. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah, I don't know. It's hard to get out of a conversation. So now I just like play it up for like everyone around me.
Because everyone knows it's awkward for you, probably.
So it's like when someone starts, and I'm like, whoa, you know, you act like you get really into the conversation about like a random thing. I'm like, what? I didn't know that.
Make tons of cartoon sound
yeah,
effects.
it's like that's crazy.
Agony.
Because like part of my joke about like talking to older people is that like this is all. It wasn't Charlie Messing. It was someone else at the mic. I don't think he's been back for a while. But he just like did that thing where like you're talking to someone that's like been around for a while, and they like point at like a piece of like infrastructure and like a building, and they're like you see that bank used to be a pizza place, and you're like, wow. And then they're like, before that it was a different bank. Isn't that crazy? And I'm just like, this is such a good conversation. It's like some people like
yes.
just like. I think everyone's just like, it's not that people are like desperate to like be perceived as like smart or like they know a lot of things. I think like sometimes it's like self-validating. It's like I need to tell people everything I know just so it's like I can tell myself, oh, I'm paying attention to reality.
I would be a good
and
detective.
I think that's like, I think that's like kind of what people are doing. It's like I'm gonna tell him about the pizza place and then the bank before it, so I can convince myself, oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff up here.
I'm not getting dementia.
I'm not. It's all still there. I remember that happening.
I remember
it's
it.
Like, yeah. And I'm just like there, and I'm like, okay. I don't. Sideways.
Now, if they had said that place used to be a bank, now it's a pizza place, now it's a bank, the whole world's going to hell. At least then you have something to hold on to.
But it's always just like something. It's like, I remember when that sidewalk used to be wider. And I'm like, wow. No, my God. I'm like, that is crazy. I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they made that shorter.
Who does that? Usually if they're going to go anyway, they're going to go wider,
yeah,
not
if they're
shorter.
going to change the sidewalk, I think they'd make it. So you really have to act into the conversation. I'm like, that's just like, I can't believe that given all the problems in the world, we make the sidewalks smaller. But it's always something like that.
See, this is your problem, Donnie. This is it. You've got to, you have to, like, not be so nice about it. You're clearly so nice that they're like, wow, Donnie really loves my sidewalk stories.
They're like, this is a good.
And boy, howdy, do I have one in the cannon.
Yeah, they're like, I'm gonna save this for later.
I'm gonna save this for Donny.
Are you? Because we talked about earlier, like, you know, when like new comedians like ask you for advice, and it's like my advice wasn't great. It's like, I can never like tell someone not to really like do something, and I've had a few people at mics that were like, "Is this joke funny?" And it's like, I genuinely think it's like,
that's a hard
such a
one.
bad joke, and I'm just like that. I'm like, that's golden, you know. And then they go up,
so
and it's just
hard.
like because it's like because it's like even though like I don't think the joke will be good, it's like I think that they have to go up and do the joke and find out that it's not good. It can't be from like one person,
right? Because it's so subjective too. Like it might not be funny to me, but it's funny to like that table over there, and that's gonna be your crew that follows you, hopefully.
Yeah.
Or like if you have somebody just starting out, have you like come across this where you're just like, oh, like I don't think this is your thing. Like that makes me feel sad when you see someone just like constantly, and they're doing so great, like putting themselves out there, and they're just like getting so beat up, and you're like, oh man, like I just don't think that your pros are outweighing your cons right now. Yeah,
I would never like not encourage someone to go to mic and just do it, because I think it is just like a fun thing. I mean, it's mostly like mics for me. It's like a hang I look forward to every week. Like I like sitting and chat with everybody. So it's not like, I don't think you're in the position where you have to be like, this isn't working. You need to pick a different path in life. You know what I mean?
What would you do if someone ever asked you?
Oh, I have no idea. Because it's like, there's a difference between like giving someone advice and like get out of like a relationship or like quit a job. When it's like a dream, it's hard to like,
or they'd be like, why aren't I not getting booked? Like I don't. Yeah. Like I've heard that a couple times from like people just starting off or.
Yeah, and I think everyone has like their own like philosophy about like how they're gonna like climb the ladder, because I remember like early I was in it for like I'd done it for like 5 months, and I was like, why haven't I gotten booked for a show yet? And somebody was like, you gotta ask, you gotta build the connections. And I'm like, that's true, but it's like also it's like I wanted to just get like invited, you know what I mean? I wanted to do so good that it was like someone's gonna be like, I gotta have you on a show. And like I did it that way, and it made me feel better, because then I mean, Maddie Cross was the first person to book me for a show. So, like, that's always going to be special for me. And then, like, Gordon Clark was like, you're funny. I'm going to book you for a lot of stuff.
Gordon knows people.
Gordon Clark really likes me.
Yeah.
And
he's good at grabbing good people.
Yeah, I've got a good thing going with his shows for the most part. But, yeah, I mean, I think everyone's got, like, their own way of doing it. But it is hard to like, have that conversation with someone. Like, oh,
yeah, like, I don't know.
You might not be there yet.
That's what you can say.
You know, but it's like that's always the conversation you would need to have first. But after you have that conversation, if they're not changing their jokes, if they're not doing anything different, and it's just like the same thing over and over again, I don't think that same advice works anymore. Because now it's like I don't think you can really do this at all if you're not willing to like change this joke, change what you're doing. Because I'm always of the opinion it's like, I always try a joke the same way twice. Because it's like, maybe the mic's just bad. Maybe it's just like a specific group of people and they're not laughing. Maybe the vibes are off. So I always try a joke like twice exactly the same way before I change it at all.
Yeah.
But some people will just like hammer a joke like over and over and over again. And they're like, why? They're like, oh, I feel like this isn't the thing for me. And I was like, you might be right, but also it's like, I don't think you tried to like...
Yeah, it's a puzzle.
Reinvent like what that bit needs to be, or like, I don't know. It's like challenging. But also it's like, that's why I love that. It's just like Burlington, because it's Burlington, Vermont. It's like, you can't really be like, well, you can't make it in this town with that kind of, you know what I mean? So many of us are like moving away. Truthfully, it's like in order for them to have showcases, like everyone's going to start getting booked. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it is hard to be the guy that's like, you're not.
Well, when you're booking a show too, and you know, like there's people that you're like, oh man, like they're such a great person, and I would love to like book them, but like their comedy's not quite there yet, and that's also But then like what you're saying too is like Burlington, the stakes are so low. You're like, so what? Like they're not like really ready yet, but like I think they're a cool person, and there's also, I kind of felt when I was booking Wit and Wine, like if you feel like you're ready, who am I to say you're not? And like go up and have your experience.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be what it is.
Because I was gonna try to plan like a for charity like Halloween show, but I just never got it off the ground. I was gonna try to like do it through my school somehow, like a scholars program kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then we would get in touch with like local like social workers and set up something like that. And I was like choosing like my lineup for the show, and I was just like, this is challenging.
It's so hard.
Because like if it was like a monthly showcase, it's like I'll get everyone when I get them, you know. But it was like picking like a select few people. I was like,
you don't want people to read into it.
And you want the variety of people, but it's like you have to have the variety. You want like the big hitters to get like more time, but then it's like you can't have them go after someone that's like not on their level yet. And it's like I don't know, it's like
so
challenging because like I was trying to book the lineup, and I was like, I want to have Jared because like if we did like a Halloween show, like he would dress up and be a fun character, and he's hilarious. And I was like, I want Levi, I want Nick Sisk. I was gonna ask you, and it's like I'm looking at this like lineup, and I was just like, I'm like, who am I giving the most time to?
That is hard too.
Who's going last? And for a while I was just like, well, maybe if like everyone's in a costume, like maybe we all just do like the same amount of time. Maybe it's like 5 to 7 minutes, and then like Rob gave me like a great note. Rob's completely correct. He was like, well, he's like, that's kind of a big ask for them to drive all the way down there, and they're not getting that much time. Because I was gonna have it down where I live, and I was like, you're right. But it's like, I was like, I thought that was something that was possible because I drive that far.
You do it all the time
for such little. Like I drive like an hour and a half just to do like 3 minutes at Mike. So it's like naturally I'm assuming that like everyone else wants to do it, but it's like I'm the college kid. I don't have to get up for work in the morning, and it's like kind of this whole thing. But like booking a show is absolutely challenging.
It
even
is.
like I wouldn't even say I was booking it. It was just like getting it off the ground. The idea of it. I was like, who do I want? Because it's like you need that variety.
And we're such a close-knit community, and people do like read into like the time slots that you give them, and I couldn't do it because I was just like, I don't want somebody thinking I think less of them. It's so hard. It was like one of the reasons why I couldn't do it anymore is because I was just like, it's making me feel sick to my stomach to make these lineups, and like I don't want somebody to then look at me in a different way because I put them at this slot instead of this slot, or like I don't know. Like for me, if I get booked on a show, I don't give a fuck how much time. I would prefer not to be the person with the most amount. Yeah. Because that's a lot of pressure, and I would love to be, and I was like that with sports too, and I did like roller derby. I don't want to be the worst person, and I don't want to be the best. Like just put me somewhere in the middle, and I'll just support everybody, and then I can just but it's hard because not everybody has that mentality.
Because I was like looking at my lineup, and I was like, okay, I want some other like young people. I want to do like roughly like a gender split. I don't want it to be like all men, obviously.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like I want like Zoe Bernstein.
And that's hard too, to make sure you have like a really nice like sampling.
So I was like, I want Zoe, I want Brian, then I was like, I want Meredith, I want Jared, I want Levi, I want Mike, I want Julia, and then I was like, oh, but now it's like I've booked Zoe and Brian, and I didn't book Kenzie and Jackson.
And those people are all part of a group.
It's like
it's so hard.
Yeah, but then it's like you book all the young people, and it's like now it's like this friend group is doing it.
It's too much.
It's
too much. It's just too much.
It's difficult, and I don't know. It's very much. It's not something I really want to.
It was too hard
to do that much.
But
as much as I would
people
love
that are good at it, like
yeah.
Gordon, can book a show like that. Doesn't even like it takes a certain mentality to like be able to do it. And he has like 3 shows that he's like juggling like 3 shows, and he's just like he just is so cut and dry with like everything.
Yeah, and I mean I like he's always it's always every time I've done a show of his, it's been different. Like when I've gone to the lineup, which is kind of nice. Like my first year of doing it, I was always like the 5 to 7 minutes guy in every show.
Yeah.
I would always go first, and I was like, I know I already have more than this. I can do like 10 to 12, like.
That's such a nice slot. That 10 to 12
I know that's
is
like
one
my
of my
favorite slot still. But I was always like, that's where I want to be. That's my set. And then finally, like this past year, like I've been
is that
like,
red light for us, babe?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been like the closer on like a lot of shows this past year.
Oh, that's so
and I was
awesome.
like, that's a good feeling. But now I'm like, it's like when the show's going bad and you're the last one. It's like give me that second slot. Where
Yes, that's the best.
I think
that
it's the best
little
slot. I think it's the
feature
best slot.
Like, because then you're like, pressure's not on me.
Yeah, for sure.
And I can just support and that's it. But also like hosting is like terrifying. Like there's so many slots that you're like, oh, I can't wait till I don't have to do this slot because this is terrifying.
Yeah.
Knowing everybody's names and
You want the more time because it's like
I don't want just 5 minutes.
Like I'm the best, and then you're like, oh,
no,
like I have to fill
that
this.
tall daisy thing.
Yeah,
like,
I had to follow like Jared Hall on like a Bent Nails show, and I was looking at the lineup, and I was like, Gordon, I was like, this guy won the show. Like he's like one of the, and like why am I following him? And first of all, it's like following Jared. Like even if Jared never won the competition, like.
Oh God!
I was like, don't make me do that. I was like, don't make me. And he went up and he did like his wacky character, and
yes.
like they were like into it. They like his sets are kind of like that.
Yeah.
They were like, we love it. What are you doing? We
Yeah.
love it. And then he was on stage. And he's like, boy, he's like, you guys are gonna love Donovan because he actually like writes jokes.
No.
No, but like Jared did that in like a funny way, and like he had a good set. I had a good set.
Oh, that was Jared saying.
Yeah.
that. Okay.
That was a great like Bent Nails show. That was a lot of fun. But I was like, why am I following? I feel like weird. I feel like I shouldn't be following Jared. Like Jared's been doing it so long. Jared's got like way more material than me. But then Jared was like, no, it's like I think it was good that it worked out that way. He's like, I don't think they liked what I was doing, but like they had fun. It was just a good show. But like lineups are intimidating.
Yes, they're very weird. All right, Andy's like holding the red light. This is cool, babe, that we have a red light now.
That's cool.
So
how long have we been talking?
I don't know. Yeah, how long have we?
So far, we are at 1 hour and 34 minutes.
Really?
That went by so freaking quick,
long, dude.
I know. And we used to do these we used to have this thing where we just would talk and talk and talk. Like our first episodes are like, what is the longest one, babe? Isn't it like 2 hours and 30 minutes or something? Like this long ass Martin Scorsese movie, and we're like, we don't have enough cocaine to do that. Like
I can't believe it's been that long. I thought it was only like been like 45 minutes.
It always goes by so freaking quick. And then I'm like, oh, we didn't talk about this, we didn't talk about that. But then we're like, okay, if we keep it to like try to do around like an hour 30, then like.
But now I'm thinking we have been here for a while because now I'm thinking about like the bookmarks, and there was like the pilgrim moment. Then there was like the stealing of like the semen.
Yes. See, this is what happens when I break it all up. I'm like, oh, there's that nugget. There's that nugget. Segment.
Yeah. So now that it's like we have been here for a while because there was a lot of.
We went on a journey.
We had to dissect that one for like a little bit, and then there was like the whole pit thing with the.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we've been here. We've been here for a while. People are gonna watch. Like people just watching. They just heard me say like this went by fast, and they're like, no, it didn't. They're like, no, it didn't. We've been watching for a while, and we want it to end.
That's what I think happened with the other ones. I always have so much fun talking with you guys that I forget how long. That this is supposed to be a show that other people might want to consume in one sitting. So
I watch all of them. So I'm.
Yay!
I do.
Did you see the Jared Hall like full 2 hour one?
Yeah, I've seen that.
I feel like you guys should get a sticker.
Yeah, I've watched all. I skimmed through the Levi one just because I was like, there's not. I was like, there's not much here.
Oh my god!
But I watched like all the other ones. Like I watched Ian Paul's was good because you guys were talking about like introverts and extroverts.
Yes.
It was really fascinating. But yeah, no, I look forward to. I'm like, who's on this week? And it's like.
Well, this coming week we've got like 3 episodes we're shooting in 1 week, which is something we've never done. Yeah, we're gonna have Rob on Wednesday, and then Max Palmer, which, dude, I cannot freaking wait. I'm so excited. Max Palmer is
so funny.
I can't wait, and he's had such a different journey with like his stand-up. Like he started off doing ventriloquism.
What?
Yes.
This is a joke.
This is not a joke.
Can he actually do it? Like he?
Yes, he had like a puppet. He would bring it up on stage. He had multiple puppets. We're going to get into it during his whole episode. I can't wait. And then he switched over to like regular stand-up.
Was he funnier with the puppet? Or?
I think he does much better doing his stand-up.
Okay.
Yeah.
His stand-up, I just love his...
He's just... I can't wait to talk to him.
Yeah, he's got great jokes.
And Gita. We're doing Gita, too.
Oh, yeah, I like Gita. Gita's nice.
It's going to be good. So this is our... yeah, it's going to be awesome. So, okay, Donnie, we got to end it. We got to end this shit.
That's fine. I understand.
I want to keep talking.
I do, too. This was...
Thank you so much for driving your ass all the way out here.
I took a road on Shelburne. I'd never driven down before.
Did someone steal your semen?
No, I don't.
I'll tell you the one where they
Good callback.
Yeah. I will keep calling that back in other episodes. I'll just be like, did someone steal your semen to Gita?
I joked about like Tracy Dolan stealing Donnie's semen, and he laughed so hard. He loved it.
Are we going to get ghosted by Tracy after this? Like, she's going to be like,
what?
No.
She's probably not
We're
going to be.
done.
Mostly Zoe's going to be like, what the? And I'm going to be like, I'm sorry, Zoe. I should have shut that down better than I did. Because I was like, don't feel bad, Meredith. I'm a weird guy, too. Like, I didn't.
And then I was like, what if?
I kind of like endorsed it a little harder than I should have. But.
You're almost saying like you wish that would happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah.
You were putting
that's
a stamp
kind
of approval.
Yeah, I was silent. I was complicit into the whole. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Donnie. Thank you for coming to the wrong side of the hedge, dude.
This is fun.